Welcome to class. Thank you so much for your practice. We'll begin in Shavasana, lying down. And a nice prop using the blanket would be under the knees. You'll notice this supports the low back a little bit. If you lie down at home with your legs on a pillow or up the wall, same sort of mini version of that here with the blanket under the thighs or the knees, wherever you're finding some support there. Allowing the whole body to soften, staying with that beautiful breathing practice that you've already begun with, Marcia. Thank you so much for that. Staying with the practice, all of the awareness right here. It's beautiful presence. Slide the legs together, stretching the arms overhead. Nice big reach and stretch. And we'll hug the knees into the chest, perhaps even tucking the forehead to the knees if that feels good. Have a nice stretch here. Releasing the head down to the ground and letting the legs rock side to side as you press your low back into the ground. And then we'll come to one of those sides and come up to sitting. We'll chant Om a few rounds. And then I'll offer another prayer, Triambakam. So I'll suggest that you sit on the blanket so that it shoots your pelvis forward. We have a tendency to sit on the back of the pelvis, and so the low back really will appreciate the elevation of the hips, and then as much as you can, spreading the sits bones and coming onto the pinky toe side of your foot. So you're really in the center of the perineum between the anus and your sexual organs, and also so front and back as well as side to side where these sits bones, those bones of the behind, the iliac come down, those points. Finding the four corners here, and sitting tall might feel like sitting forward, and the feet, the legs can be whatever they need to be. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Chanting Om a few rounds if you'd like. We begin with Kapalabhati, and only as much as you're comfortable with. You can go faster, slower, or change. Exhaling through the nostrils, pumping in with the belly. Inhale deeply, stay relaxed, shoulders back and down. And begin. Finishing up. Inhale deeply, belly, lungs, chest. All the exhale out. Gentle breath retention, again, only until you're comfortable. Inhale and gently holding the breath, chanting Om in your head. Exhale deeply. Nice job. Make any adjustments if you want to change the cross of your legs or any kind of stretches. Supporting the low back as we sit. Second round, Kapalabhati. Exhale deeply. In deeply. And begin. Finishing up. Last breath retention. Okay, take a couple breaths, any adjustments. Preparing to hold the breath. So big exhale first. And then a gentle inhale. Gently holding the breath, chanting the mantra in the head. Chant, exhale down. And as little disturbance as possible. Lying down, back into Shavasana. Let the blanket under the thighs again to support the low back. Legs opening to the sides, arms opening to the sides, the shoulders back and down, back of the neck dropping, the low back dropping. Staying in the stillness. Another deep exhale. Sliding the legs together, stretching the arms up overhead, big reach. You might like to hug the knees into the chest. You might like rocking side to side or forward and back. And eventually we'll come up to standing at the front of the mat. Surya Namaskara A, saluting the sun. Weight in the ball of the feet. We'll start nice and slow, so you might take 2 breaths per posture. Sometimes we're doing the 1 inhale per posture, 1 exhale per posture. Today, as we start, feel free to breathe comfortably. When you're ready, exhale, bring the hands to prayer. Bringing the hands up overhead. Stretching forward, down. Feel free to bend the knees as you place your hands on the ground by your feet. Head drops. Weight in the balls of both feet and stretch the right foot back. Come on to the toenails, the knee, the left knee supported by the left ankle directly underneath. Drop the hips, the chin, the shoulders back and down. And either coming into hands and knees or the push-up or something in between. Looking out about a foot or 2 in front of yourself, if that's okay. And the hips in line with the shoulders and the heels. Now drop the knees, the chest, and the chin down. Big arch in the low back as you lift the behind up. The elbows in nice and close. And instead of pressing the hands down, we're going to pull the hands on the ground back towards the hips as we lower the toenails down and let the hips drop and slide the chest forward. And go ahead and lift the hands and make sure we're not pressing. And the big toes touch, spread all the toenails into the ground. Press the pubic bone into the ground, the belly, the abdominal wall spreading out into the ground. And gently the hands come down. Keep the elbows in nice and close. Spread the hands, tuck the toes, and lift the hips up, inverted V. Feel free to walk out the heels as you press your heels down into the ground. Looking forward past your hands as you inhale the right knee in towards the chest and bring the right foot towards the hands and lower the left knee down. Left toenails out. The right knee supported directly over the right ankle. Look up. Dropping the hips. Breathe. Nice. Now we'll bring the left foot forward. Feel free to keep the knees bent as you lower your head. Breathe here. Weight in the ball of the feet. Stretch your hands out in front and lift forward and up. Come up to standing. A gentle arch if you want. Keep the arms in line with the ears. A neutral spine, hands at your side. A neutral spine means a little curve in the low back, so make sure our legs are supporting the low back. Inhale deeply. Exhale, hands to prayer. One breath per movement this time, still slow as we inhale and lift up. Stretch forward and down, exhale. It's going to be the left leg that reaches back on the inhale and look up. A holding of the breath, high plank push-up or hands and knees. Keep looking out in front as you exhale down, knees, chest, and then tuck the chin, forehead. Inhale, Bhujangasana, maybe without the use of the hands still. Really isolating the low back strength. And then pressing the hands and use your glutes, your thighs, your feet, your legs as you press into inverted V. Inhale, look forward, left foot forward, right knee drops. Exhale, the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, stretch forward. Hands at your side. Breath or two here, and then we'll go our normal speed. Inhale, exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot, inhale, reaches back. Left foot, hold the breath. Knees, chest, forehead, exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right foot forward. Left foot forward. Inhale, standing arch. Hands at your sides, exhale. Inhale here, shoulders back and down. Exhale, hands to prayer. Hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg reaches back. Right leg reaches back. Forehead. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left leg forward. Right leg forward. Inhale, standing arch. Hands at your side. Third, final round. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, standing arch. Forward fold, exhale. Right foot, inhale back. Left foot, hold the breath. Knees, chest, forehead, lower down. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, standing arch. Hands at your side, left side, inhale. Hands to prayer. Inhale, standing arch. Forward fold. Left leg. Right. Knees, chest forward, Ashtanga Pranayama. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left foot inhale. Right foot exhale. Last standing arch. Hands at your side, feet hips distance. Standing meditation, breathing normally, naturally. Once again, lying down, Shavasana. Maybe use a blanket if it's useful, and anything that helps us to relax or soften. Muscle, the nervous system, the thoughts, the emotions. And some of this yoga practice is in addressing these forms and shapes. And some of it is just watching them, watching that we have thoughts, or watching that there is a body. Sliding the legs together, arms up overhead, big stretch and reach. And then we'll hug and roll and come into child's pose, letting the head rest on the ground. And if you'd like to support your hips, they don't touch by sitting on a block or blankets. Also, it can feel good the back of the knees to roll a blanket behind the knees. Nice. Chaturanga, the child's pose. So if you wish to practice the dolphin or the headstand, you're welcome to measure the elbows, bring the crown of the head into the ground. And so much action with the elbows pressing, and you might like the elbows a little closer to give more of a tripod. When the elbows are out too much to the side ergonomically, it's just not quite as supportive, but it, we're here practicing, so as you wish. Nice. About 30 more seconds. Any variations that you would like. Well, return to child's pose and then legs up the wall or shoulder stand. Either legs up the wall or shoulder stand.
Okay.
And they can be both, as you know. Thank you for your practice. If you wish to try the plow variation by bringing the right foot over the head, and it comes back up, and the left leg over the head, as you wish. Maybe you want to come into the full plow. From here, take your time to either shoulder stand or legs up the wall. And very slowly coming down, we'll come into the bridge posture and take your time. Take a rest first if you would like. And if it's comfortable, you can reach for the heels or the ankles. Lift the hips up. Bridge or full wheel, another 30 seconds if it's okay. Any variations to lift the hips or come out of it and take breaks as you want. Looks really good. Beautiful. One more inhale to lengthen. Exhale and come on down. Come into the fish posture. Tucking the arms under the body, slide the elbows in as close as you can get them and really open your chest. Open the front of the neck. The legs are together and as relaxed as we can keep them as we press the elbows down to lift the chest and chin. Wow, that looks beautiful. Nice job. A few more deep breaths here. And after one more inhale to lengthen, lifting up enough, it's easier to slide back down, release the arms, release the legs. Rest. Beautiful. Slide the legs together. stretch. We'll come up to sitting, however you get there, and I'll suggest that we use the prop under the back of the sits bones again, just to propel us forward. So it feels like sitting a little forward. We'll start with the feet together. Feel free to flap your knees. Some people really like that. Or you can play around with how far the feet are. So it's comfortable for you to really sit up and support the low back. A few breaths here. Check in with the ankles. And on an exhale, hinging the body forward. When you get to where you're going, drop your head. A few breaths here. Inhale, coming back up. Stretch the left leg out in front, Janu Sirsasana. Tuck the right foot into the left thigh. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, up and over. Now you look really fabulous today. Good job, beautiful practice. Stay with your breath. Mm-hmm. Inhale, come on up, switch sides. Feel free to shake, wiggle, rest. Start with an exhale, and when you're ready, inhale to lift up. And over the right leg. Forward, up, stretching both legs out, Paschimottanasana. Inhale, lift up, and over both legs. Inhale, forward, up, bringing the hands behind to lift the hips up, press the toes down, drop the head, and breathe deep into the bronchial tubes, around the chest. Lift the hips a little higher, and then exhale all the way back down. Bring this blanket under our thighs as we come on to the belly. And again, I think, my low back appreciates the blanket under the thighs. And the big toes touch, heels apart, cradle the head. Preparing for Bhujangasana, the cobra, bringing the heels together and the toes apart, bringing the hands by your side. We won't press the hands quite yet as you spread the abdominal wall into the ground and lift the chest and lift the chin. And breathe here. And then gently the elbows or the hands press down, coming into cobra. You might find that with the blanket here, you are able to Find a little bit more space, maybe not. Notice what you notice and breathe. Slowly lower down. We'll practice the locust with hands extended. So feet, shoulder width, legs, hips distance. And we'll stretch the arms out in front as you inhale, lifting the right hand and left foot. And stretch them up, but also stretch them away from each other. Stretching through the low back. And breathe. Maybe it feels like the hips hug closer to the low back for support, or the shoulders hugging towards the low back for support. Release down. When you're ready, the left arm reaching, right leg reaching. Breathe here. Slowly come down, preparing to lift both hands, both legs. Take a break first, wiggle side to side. Big exhale, and then whenever you're ready, inhale, lifting up the hands, the legs, the locust, and breathe. Flexibility, strength, and ease to the low back. One more inhale here. Exhale, lower down, bringing the hips to your heels. Pose of the child and stretching the low back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If it's comfortable, the hands to your feet and breathe. And we'll roll the spine up. So keep the head heavy, tuck your chin, and roll one vertebrae at a time up to sitting. And then we're going to drop the hips over to the right side of the legs. And then cross your left foot over the right knee and come right onto the sits bones. And again, a suggestion that you might really enjoy a little elevation here to support the low back as you really spread the sits bones. Bring the left hand behind you and the right elbow and hand up and over the left leg. And breathe, nice. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. Notice what's happening for your low back, where you can get the stretch, where you can feel it opening up the vertebrae and that little wringing out of the washcloth. Let the feet support, let the breath support. You might turn the head. One more. Exhale here. Inhale and come on up. Now the feet over to the right side of the hip. And the right foot is going to cross up and over the left knee, sitting as tall as we can. And right hand behind the spine to offer support for the spine, staying straight, and the left elbow or hand. Maybe you just hug the leg. Does not matter what that looks like. Again, offering a lot of support to the low back. So we ask it to open, soften, giving some support and breath. Nice. And go ahead and release the legs, hug the knees into the chest and sit up nice and tall. On an exhale, allow your low back to slouch. Allow the tailbone to curve, the opposite of what we were practicing before. Allow the head to drop. Ha. Come into standing postures, either through a squat to standing or however it's comfortable for you to come on up. Practicing the standing forward fold. Bring the big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Reaching forward and up, maybe a gentle back bend. And an exhale, hinging forward and down. Holding the legs wherever you're comfortable. Several breaths here. Weight on the ball of the foot, and we're going to tuck the tailbone, leave the head heavy, and roll up the spine once again. Take your time, make your way when you get to the top, shoulders back and down, feet hips distance, and we'll come into a gentle back bend. Hands at the low back, supporting as you let the hips come forward. And we'll bring the legs apart for the triangle pose. Right toes out to the right and left hand up in line with the left ear. Today, slide your right hand behind your back and reach your right hand towards the left hip. And not to touch the left hip, but to keep the right shoulder open. The chest open, to keep facing forward as you gently side lean to the right and breathe. Trikonasana. And inhale, come on up. Right toes forward, left toes out. Left hand reaching behind to open the left shoulder. Right arm up in line with the right ear. Big inhale, exhaling up and over to the left side. Inhale up, we'll point the right toes out again, but we'll widen the legs just a little bit more for the warrior two, so that when we bend the right knee, it comes right over the right ankle. And from warrior two, we'll come to side angle, so the right elbow coming down onto the right thigh and the left hand reaching up over in line with the ear once again. We'll come into the twisted warrior. So now the left hand down towards the right foot, and we'll reach the right hand up towards the ceiling. Oh, so beautiful. Nice. Enjoy your stretch, and you can play around with straightening the front knee for Parivrtta Trikonasana. You can also bend both knees. A couple more breaths so you're really stretching into the low back. And because the low back is stretched out, we want to offer as much strength and support. Maybe it's the right elbow coming down onto the thigh first or the right hand. But we want to offer support to the low back as we make our way back up and out. Yes. Maybe a shake, wiggle, and rest before coming to warrior two, other side, the left side. Left knee over the left ankle. Beautiful job with your breathing. Thank you so much. And then the left elbow coming down, the right hand stretching up and over for side angle. And then the right hand down towards the left foot, coming into the twist. Either warrior two or trikonasana. And then supporting, however is most supportive for our low back. Use the belly, use the arms, the legs to come back up and out of this. Coming back to the front of the mat, Tadasana, standing meditation, a few breaths. Notice what you notice. And a humbling last posture for the teacher. I'm not able to demonstrate, so please keep your focus on something that's not moving. But we're going to come onto our tippy toes, interlock the hands, reach the hands overhead, and stretch, stretch, stretch. Oh, thank you for your grace and ease. We'll bring the hands out in front, standing on the tiptoes if you can, and we'll lower down onto the ground, preparing for the final rest, Shavasana. And again, if you'd like the blanket under your thighs or knees, you want another one over the top of you, whatever would make you most comfy. Slowly coming back to awareness of the body. Maybe stretch the feet and toes, the arms and legs. You might get to tuck your chin into your chest. Maybe hug the knees in, maybe cradle the head. Rock to the side, forward and back. Feel good as you wake up. You might like to lie on your side a breath or two before coming up to sitting. Suggestion to use the blanket to propel the pelvis into a neutral, stable seat. Curve in the low back as it's in its most open, supported state. Hands in prayers. We chant Om a few rounds. Hail to all the teachers of yoga, all of the masters of all religions, faiths. Jai to all the gurus, examples, humble bows to ourselves, to all beings. Thank you for your practice. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mm.